Hi everybody, and welcome back to my channel. In today's video, it's going to be a little different. I'm going to be talking about Duchenne's muscular dystrophy. That is the disease that my brother Adam has. In this video, it's not to get sympathy or whatever. It is to spread awareness of a disease that he's been living with basically his whole life. I just want to get more people knowing about Duchenne's muscular dystrophy. It's not that well known, so this video is just to spread information, and that's about it. And excuse me if I cry in this video. This is a very sensitive topic to me. I have some notes here just in case I forget. I'm probably going to read straight from these because, like I said, this is a hard topic for me to talk about, so if I have my notes, I won't mess up. But we're going to do like an overview, symptoms and carriers and what causes it and stuff like that. And then at the end of the video, I'm going to go into more detail on my brother specifically and stuff about me. So let's get started. And if you hear any random noises, my dad is doing stuff. Duchenne's muscular dystrophy is a genetic disorder characterized by progressive muscle degeneration and weakness. Duchenne's muscular dystrophy is caused by an absence of dystrophin, a protein that helps keep muscle cells intact. Symptoms can start as early as childhood. Adam was diagnosed at the age of 5. Duchenne's muscular dystrophy primarily affects boys, 1 in 3,500 boys. The symptoms of Duchenne's muscular dystrophy: muscle weakness, first affecting the muscles of the hips, pelvic area, thighs, and shoulders. Later, the skeletal, voluntary muscles in the arms, legs, and trunks. The calves also are enlarged, and Adam's were. And again, he had the weakness in his pelvic area, his legs, his arms. He had trouble like getting up from like a sitting position. If you sit like crisscross applesauce or sitting on the floor, he had trouble standing up from that position. He also had trouble running and keeping up with kids his age. That's why his PE teacher first noticed and suggested to my mom that he be checked out by a doctor, and then was later diagnosed. Early teens, the heart and respiratory muscles are affected. I can't remember how many years ago, but he had his heart checked out, and they said that he had the heart the size of a 5-year-old, so he doesn't have a normal sized heart, and he definitely he doesn't have too much trouble breathing, but sometimes he does, and he also has a lot of mucus buildup in his lungs, so he has to be very careful with that, and he does a lot of spitting to help prevent that. So that's that. And the cause of Duchenne's muscular dystrophy. In 1986, MDA-supported researchers identified a particular gene on the X chromosome that, when flawned or mutated, leads to Duchenne's muscular dystrophy. So it's something on the X chromosome that is a little mutated, and that's what is the cause of Duchenne's muscular dystrophy. And the carriers of this disease are females who have a normal dystrophin gene on one X chromosome and an abnormal dystrophin gene on the other X chromosome. So it's mainly females, not mainly, it's mostly females who pass on the disease to their children. And so for me, that means that I potentially can be a carrier. So I have to do a genetic testing to see if I am a carrier of this, and if that means if I will pass it down to my sons or not. The life expectancy of boys with Duchenne's muscular dystrophy was, until recently, boys who had Duchenne's muscular dystrophy didn't usually survive much beyond their teen years. But now with advances in cardiac and respiratory care, life expectancy is going on into like their 30s, even their 40s and their 50s. Adam, this year, January 16th, turned 31, excuse me. He is 31 years old, and it's just crazy. Any extra year we get with him is a miracle, because when he was first diagnosed, the doctor said mid-20s was his life expectancy. There's also no cure for Duchenne's muscular dystrophy as of this time. There's so much good research that is going on. I will leave the links to mda.org, and you can do some of your own research there. But the thing that's crazy with Adam's case is the doctors are not sure if he has Duchenne's muscular dystrophy or if he has Becker's muscular dystrophy. And I'm going to talk a little bit about Becker's. Becker's is a milder version of Duchenne's muscular dystrophy. The course of the disease is slower and less predictable than of Duchenne's muscular dystrophy, but the causes, the carriers, the life expectancy, the symptoms are all basically the same. That's kind of why it's hard to pinpoint with Adam which one he has, because he has the symptoms of Duchenne's muscular dystrophy, but they're going at a slower rate. Like, normally people at his age are in like motorized wheelchairs, or they have like respiratory to help them breathe. He doesn't have any of that. He's in a normal wheelchair that he's been in since he was 12. So there's really no, for him anyway, way to tell if he has Duchenne's or Becker's. So that's that. Like I said, he was diagnosed at 5. The life expectancy back then he was given was mid-20s. I can't even imagine being a parent of a 5-year-old and learning that their life expectancy could be their mid-20s. Sorry. But like I said, he's 31 now, and it's just crazy how far he's come from what the doctors thought. Like I said, they're not sure if he has Duchenne's or Becker's. He started showing signs of weakness while running and getting up from that sitting position when he was 5 with his PE teacher. He's been in a wheelchair since he was 12 years old. He needs help getting in and out of the wheelchair, getting in and out of bed. We have a Hoya lift that helps him get in and out of bed, and he just needs to be pulled back into the wheelchair, which I help with. He needs help with getting dressed, getting undressed, feeding, or like he needs help with like getting the food set up into him, but then he can still feed himself. He still needs help with like bathing, all the things that we kind of take for granted, like getting up and going somewhere. He has to have somebody push him or get it for him. He has a weird schedule. He sleeps during the day. He's actually sleeping right now. And he's up all night because it's just easier for him to be asleep when everybody's home, or when everybody's away, and asleep or awake when everybody's home, so if he falls, we can be here to help him. So at night, if he falls, there are numerous people here to help him, and now during the day, it's not as bad because we have a young man coming and helping with him, so it's nice to have somebody here during the day that if he does fall, he can get help. And he also needs help going to the bathroom and stuff. For me, it's kind of a hard thing because he was diagnosed at 5. He's 3 years older than me, so I was 2. So basically my whole life he's been dealing with Duchenne's muscular dystrophy, and it's really hard because I don't want to say he gets put first, but he kind of does because he needs more, so his schedule needs more, so he kind of gets put first. Not really, but sometimes it feels like that. And it's just, it's a stressful thing to see your brother get weak and deteriorate and do things that he could do and can't do anymore. I think that's the scariest thing to see, is when he can no longer do something that he used to be able to do. It just makes it show you that his disease is getting progressive, and it's progressing, and it's scary. And just the fear of not knowing when, not knowing when he's unfortunately going to pass away, and that's just a hard thing to think about. And especially with, I take care of him a lot. If you guys don't know, I took some time off from working to be like a full-time caretaker for him, so I'm invested in it, and it's just the thought of walking in and finding him not breathing and stuff is a scary thing to wrap your head around. And also wrapping my head around that one day I'm gonna be an only sibling, an only child. It's just gonna be me, and that is scary and crazy to think about. What else? I don't know. It's not a it's just a crazy thing for me to think about. But we are doing our best with him. He's happy. He's healthy beyond just, you know, normal. Everything else is fine. It's just the Duchenne's muscular dystrophy, and that's about it. He's my older brother, so he's slightly a pain in the butt, but I still love him. Yeah, what else? I can't really think of anything else right now off the top of my head. But if you guys, like I said, have any questions, please don't hesitate to ask them. Leave them please in the comments below. And like I said, if there are questions or things that didn't get talked about in this video, because like I said, it's a very sensitive subject, so my brain kind of gets scatterbrained and maybe I didn't talk about something, go to mda.org and nduchennes.org. I will leave those in the description. They will be the first 2 links in the top. Please go check those out and just learn more about this disease. MDA did have a telethon, and I think they canceled that a few years ago. And yeah, they do so many good things, like the Shamrocks around St. Patrick's Day. Firefighters do the MDA boot. There are so many amazing things, and MDA sends kids to summer camp for free. They do so many amazing things, so please do the research and just look it up. I want to thank you all so much for watching. I know this was kind of a crazy video. Hopefully it made sense. But I want to thank you all so much for watching, and I will talk to you all later. Thank you. Bye.